Go, wasn't it?
Well, it was. Again, a big start from Fernando Alonso. You see him moving straight across to try and get to the inside of Massa. He realises that isn't really on. Mark Webber making a good start, putting a bit of pressure on Sebastian. And then you see that double lock-up, which, triple lock-up actually, as they run into the corner. A little bit of bodywork flipping up as they ran into the corner. Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, that's Suttle there in the other Force India going across the chicane. And then Perez coming to the left-hand side of the track, trying to re-slot into his position so they don't get a penalty. And then as they run down into the second chicane, it's all still pretty clean here, apart from Paul di Resta in the middle of the pack, locks up and hits the back of Grosjean. That's sort of role reversal from what we've seen in the past. Grosjean went on to have a strong race, of course, here from the overhead. Ferraris are so consistent off the start, and we know there's not a big difference from right to left side of the starting grid, but you can see Mark Webber got off the line that little bit better than Sebastian, and then you got that 600-meter run down to the first corner. I was surprised actually there wasn't more sort of concertina effect incident, and then you should see at the top of the screen there Sergio Perez rejoining in amongst the pack. Listen to Mark. Yeah. Look at that, just gets it hooked up, release the cares unquestionably as they run down into the first corner. Thinks about it, and then thinks, oh no, it isn't going to happen. Probably hoping that Sebastian was going to keep going with that lock-up at that stage, but anyway, slots in behind Felipe Massa. Listen to that launch, just sounds like it's bogging down slightly, but right past reaction, misses Hulkenberg, gets up into the gearbox of Massa. Massa clearly releases a bit more cares on the run down to the first corner because he pulls the advantage before they get to the braking area. Hulkenberg going around the outside of the first part of the chicane, and then Fernando keeping it clean. You can see Perez rejoining there on the left hand side, and there he's in the slipstream. This is Raikkonen. Button there, bogging down off the line. Raikkonen reacts to that, and then he decides to keep to the left, which would normally be the cleaner part of the line, running into the first corner. Almost touches Perez at that point, then locks up, and then goes tap, have some of that, and loses his front wing.
Well, very lucky to finish, actually.
Indeed, yeah. Unusual for him to make that sort of mistake. And this is Paul di Resta. He has never gone out on the first lap of a Grand Prix until today. Not a statistic he'll particularly like, but unfortunately just clipping the back of Romain Grosjean. And this is from that lovely angle that shows the heat in the tyres. Look at all the heat off the back of the various cars, and as they all concertina into the second chicane, just locks that front wheel, and well,